Okay, so I'm here talking about my new student dialogue workshop. I did heterosexual norms, and um, the group as a whole were, in the beginning, you could tell no one wanted to be there. They looked really angry that they had to be there. Most people were still in their pajamas. Um, I I actually enjoyed it. I went into it thinking, oh, this is gonna be terrible. This is not gonna be fun at all. This is a waste of my time. Well, once we started talking and the leaders started talking, and um, we first discussed that this is not a debate, it's a dialogue, and that's exactly what it was. It's not people sitting around arguing about their points of view. It's people sitting around discussing how they feel about certain issues, which is really good. It's a lot better than an argument because people aren't getting their feelings hurt. People aren't getting mad or angry at one another. And there were some active voices. I was one of the more active voices. There were some people that didn't talk at all. One girl didn't talk in the beginning, and then after she had a group one-on-one workshop, she started opening up as a whole, and that helped a lot because it showed people that, she was obviously shy when she first got there. And then she opened up and she told a lot about why she was at Clemson, how she felt about different things. And it helped me because I could kind of relate to her situation. Also, there was another guy who talked, and he had a similar situation that I had. So me and him could actually talk about that in front of the whole group, and it was great because we were having a conversation, and the leaders didn't have to feel awkward. We were filling up, time. And we were discussing things that actually were important to us. And that's another thing in this dialogue. I think a lot of people need to go to it, and I think it's a great way. I think it's good that this dialogue is incorporated in Library 100 because it helps people open their minds to certain situations they might not normally think about. The guy that I was in an individual group with, his idea on homosexuals were it's bad, it's wrong, why would you do that, why would you choose that? If I ever had a child like that, I would be so upset, I would be depressed, I would kick him out of the house. No, that's not what this dialogue is about. That's not what it was about at all. It was about opening your mind. And when I asked him, okay, well, why do you feel that way about that? Why do you have this thought process? What are your reasons behind it? And he really didn't have any reasons. He didn't have anything to back up his argument. And it made him think. When I asked him that, he sat there for a second and he was like, I don't know, just because. Well, this dialogue is a dialogue so that you can not have to say, I don't know, just because. It makes you think, and it gives you background, and it gives you insight into different situations. We learned about individual people and their personal stories. We learned about hypothetical situations. We learned statistics on certain situations having to do with homosexuals. We learned how they feel when people question them about why they chose to be that way or why they are that way. We learned that for some people it's a choice, for some people it's biological, for some people it's just how they are. And it could be from a bad past, and that's why they are the way they are. So for everyone, it's a different situation, and that really helped. A bunch of people open their eyes to that. Life's already hard enough. Why would you choose to make it harder on yourself by living a homosexual lifestyle? And a bunch of people actually reconsider their thought process on the whole concept. So I was one of the more active voices in the group, and a lot of stuff got accomplished. And I really appreciate all the other people in my group that talked, because if not, we would have been sitting around twiddling our fingers. The time would have gone so slowly. But since people talked and discussed how they felt and discussed everything that they wanted to get off their chest, it went by fast. It was productive. It opened people's minds. It was a great help. And the leaders were really nice. They were really supportive, and they didn't judge people, and they weren't biased, and they tried to make it as fun as possible because it's a long workshop. It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And that time can go by really slowly if you don't make the best of the situation. So It was fun. I think I chose that one because I wanted to go to something like that and discuss that and have different people feel the way I did. And even, people who didn't feel the way I did, I got to talk to them about why. And I got to see how they felt about it. No one in our group was actually living a homosexual lifestyle, but I kind of wish someone would have been so I could talk to them about that. But in someone else's group, maybe that was the case. So I'm glad this is a part of the Library 100 workshop um, homework and like requirements, because even though people could take it as like a chore, as something to do, as just a requirement, um, it was good to go to, and it was helpful, and it opened a lot of people's eyes. And I think that from now on, it should continue to be incorporated in the homework. And I actually really appreciated going, even though I had a negative attitude going into it. So that's it. I liked the dialogue. I liked the workshop. I liked the leaders. I liked talking. So all in all, it was successful.